Hi and Assalamualaikum. I bid to Sir Abdul Rahman bin Ahmad. My name is Nur Aizah binti Azhar, and together with my partner Nur Auni Azian bin Othman, will be presenting the summary of our article review. So the title of the article is Professional Responsibility, written by Anthony E. Davis. This article focuses on document retention and document destruction life cycle. This article also explains about two types of record, which is paper records and digital record. Next, we move to the concept. The concept of this article is professional responsibility and document retention and destruction management also been discussed in depth throughout this article. The main focus of this article is about the ethical implication of document retention. This article is not only dive further into the reason for the development of new rules, but it also describes many types of legal document as well as the significance of those records and the ways in which they are used. In addition to that, this article provides a full perspective by discussing the record phase that occur in legal businesses. Some of the phase are the review phase, alternative means of storage, final review, and final client notification. This phase also provides a more in-depth explanation of the index and the policy core principles. This research was conducted with the intention of encouraging solo practitioners and small law firms to collaborate with the bigger legal organization on the formulation of records management rules that are explicit and pertinent. It is necessary to have a record management strategy that is both clear and suitable in order to make the work of attorneys easier when it comes to controlling the storage and destruction of the client document. There are few rules that has been discussed in this article, which is the first one is Rule DR 9-102 of the Professional Responsibility Code. The standard stress the needs of attorneys safeguarding client property and maintaining records of client possessions. Meanwhile, for the DR 1-104 requires law firm partner to ensure the firm has mechanism in place to guarantee lawyers follow professional responsibility regulation. And the last one is DR 9-102D demand the 7-year keeping of certain financial papers. For paper records, certain client record papers and even whole files may be required to be kept permanently. These papers include client records paper such as original estate documents, wills, and deeds of trust. And there are few of federal laws which entail routine record keeping, include the Immigration Reform and Control Act, Fair Labor Standard Act, Equal Pay Act, Federal Insurance Contribution Act, Federal Unemployment Tax Act, and Age Discrimination in Employment Act.
I'm going to explain about electronic records, review and destruction. Deleting an electronic record from a hard drive does not mean that a record is destroyed. With appropriate tools, data which has not been overwritten can be accessed. Electronic documents which are to be retained should be maintained in duplicate, but separately, allowing a lawyer to reassemble electronic documents if he or she is deprived of access to or suffers inadvertent destruction of a network or hard drive. After determining what types of documents are at issue and how long to retain each type of document, a lawyer should consider the following steps as part of a records management policy, which is gaining clients' consent, An engagement letter provides an appropriate opportunity to inform clients about the terms of the lawyer's records management policy. The engagement letter may discuss the lawyer's file storage guidelines, including the length of time the lawyer expects to retain the client's file, and inform the client of the client's options with regard to taking possession of the file upon conclusion of the matter or prior to destruction. Next is review. At the closing of the matter, the lawyer may wish to return the client's original documents or other property to the client and remind the client of his or her records management policies, including gaining the consent of the client to destroy the records, electronic or written, at an established time. Next is alternative means of storage. Whenever retention is desired for any period of time, lawyers may wish to investigate alternate means of documentation storage. In particular, the technology of scanning materials onto CD-ROMs enables a lawyer to store what will otherwise be vast quantities of documents in a small space and to give the client one or more copies of the file easily and inexpensively, so long as they meet established standards such as the regulations implemented by the Internal Revenue Service. Such alternative means of storage are likely to meet legal record-keeping requirements. Third is final review. At the end of the normal retention period set out in the records management policy, a further review of records will help ensure that records selected for destruction do not contain any materials that are required to be written further, such as an original will. Final client notification. Prior to actually destroying any file due to the passage of time, a lawyer or law firm may wish to communicate again with the client or former client, preferably in writing, regarding the pending destruction. Last but not least is destruction. When contemplating how to destroy records, a lawyer and law firm should keep in mind the duty of confidentiality imposed by rules of professional responsibility. Rather than tossing paper records or disks into the trash, where they should be retrieved and reviewed by third parties, records should be destroyed by shredding, incineration, or other means that obliterate the information contained therein and protect client confidences. Index. In order to track records, it is advisable to maintain a records management index, noting whether a file has been returned to a client, retained, or destroyed. The index may also include information such as the date and means of notifying the client that the record was to be destroyed. Implementing the policy. For the legal, ethical, and practical reasons discussed above, lawyers must develop a records management policy. However, merely developing the policy is insufficient. Once developed, the policy must be consistently implemented and enforced.